And welcome back to everybody on the rest of the debate and to another edition of AEW Dynamite Out of 10. And it's a huge episode of Dynamite this week. Lots of big matches. Swerve and Hangman taking each other on a number one contenders match. We also had a big match, Jericho versus Takeshita, and Sting challenging for the tag team titles with Darby Allin against the champs Big Bill and Ricky Starks. So there's lots going on. We started things off with Swerve Hangman. Hangman angrily made his way to the ring to kick off the show. Not only did the winner of this match get a title shot, but Swerve also promised no interference from the Mogul Embassy. Unlike previous encounters, they approached this one a bit slower at first. They looked up more and a couple of clean breaks before Page took the first shot to initiate the brawl that brought them out of the ring. They were completely different for their other matches. Instead of focusing on bloody brutality, they were trying to make things closer to a traditional match. They still did plenty of violent things, but in a much more controlled way. These two have developed fantastic chemistry as opponents, putting on full display as bout. They each had a handful of standout moments, so Strickland may have had a couple more, really shining here. The crowd chanting "This is awesome" as both men struggled to get to their feet after a near fall. This bout had callbacks to their previous performances, some exciting spots and plenty of crowd participation. Both men tried several times to get the win, but the bell rang just before Strickland could get the pin, ending the contest in a time-limit draw. The crowd booed as a decision as Swerve grabbed the mic and asked for 5 more minutes. Page said no, but Tony Schiavone announced that Tony Khan now booked a 3-way match for Revolution. Hangman seems on his way to the heel turn. This was all well done, the right booking for the decision to get more longevity out of it. So yeah, on the whole, this was brilliant and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Great start to Dynamite, and that triple threat match is going to be brilliant. We then got Tony Storm versus Red Velvet. Toyona Peraza joined the commentary team to watch Storm take on Velvet in an eliminator match. During a promo last week, Storm referred to this contest as a public workout, so Velvet was looking to prove that she was more than a training partner. This was textbook early on, which was somewhat surprising given how Storm acted in all her performances since becoming timeless. During the break after we returned, she began playing up to her character a bit more. Velvet began to make a comeback, but ended up tapping out to an ankle lock. The women's champion refused to release the hold until Peraza came to the ring. Luther got between them and the segment ended with Storm leaving without further incident. Velvet did a good job despite being in an unwinnable situation. So yeah, it gets 6 out of 10 from me. I thought, it starts off a bit slow but definitely got better, and yeah, of course the result makes sense. Before it's time for the BCC versus CMLL representatives, Volder Jr., Hechicero and Mascarada Dorada. After the fantastic singles match last week, Hechicero Danielson started and they traded holds and counters. The American Dragon showed signs of frustration before Claudio and Dorado tagged in, and the Swiss Superman brushed off multiple chops, and Mox and Voldor finally tagged in and started hitting big rights. During this bout there was a total clash of stars, and all 6 men did a great job playing to their strengths while building little individual stories in the match. Claudio ended up resorting to a low blow on Hechicero to get the win, but the BCC immediately confronted by a few more luchasaurs, and yeah, this will keep it more interesting and can keep the CMLL feud going. So yeah, a really fun match, an interesting angle afterwards. Gets a 7 out of 10 from me. Before Jericho took on Konosuke Takeshita, Jericho has never been able to get rid of Don Callis, and he found himself in a singles match against a member of his family in Takeshita. After Takeshita was sent to the ring, Callis slapped him to try and motivate him. All it did was make him angry, but Jericho took him down before he could respond to Callis. The Alpha regained the upper hand quickly and hit a brainbuster on the floor. Sammy showed up, hit Powerhouse Hobbs with a chair and a cutter before knocking him into the crowd with another chair shot. The match had a strange pace, but it almost felt intentional, which made it even weirder. They told the story that they wanted to tell and had good spots, but nothing felt spontaneous until closer towards the end. Guevara showed up to fight Hobbs mid-match instead of at the end misplaced. In a somewhat surprising outcome, Takeshita saw the win with Jericho's own Lion Tamer submission, which really was a shock the way that he won it. But yeah, it was still a really, really fun match, and Takeshita gained big rubs off victories like this. It's been happening consistently. We saw it with Omega last year, and he just needs to keep this momentum because he's a future star, and getting these wins certainly aren't harming him. So yeah, it gets 7 out of 10 from me. It was then main event time as Big Bill and Ricky Starks took on Sting and Darby Allin for the tag titles. Allin and Sting wasted little time going after Bill and Starks as soon as they got into the ring as the Tornado tag match for their tag team titles began. They fought into the ground within the first minute of the match, so you could tell this was going to be pure chaos from the jump. There was no tagging in and out and no count out, so this was all over the place in both teams, literally and figuratively. The crowd was popping for every big spot and cheering the babyfaces wherever they had the upper hand. Starks removes a turnbuckle as Sting came in for a splash and caused him to hit his chest on the exposed metal. He followed up with a spear but still couldn't get the pin. Stinger grabbed him and hit the Scorpion Death Drop to get the pin and the tag titles. As he and Allin celebrated, the Young Bucks attacked him with baseball bats from behind. The show ended with Nicholas and Matthew standing in white suits covered in Allin's blood, which was a brutal and brilliant ending. And Sting as the champ going into his retirement, I don't know, there's something really cool about that. And yeah, the Young Bucks match, personally I would like to have seen a singles match, but there are reports that Sting would prefer a singles match, so a tag team match, sorry. So if that's the case, then fair fair enough. I guess it's a decent way to go out. But yeah, I love seeing that match with Darby. But on the whole, this was really fun. A brilliant match and a brutal ending as well. And yeah, definitely intrigued to see what the final few months of Sting's career has in store. Overall, AEW Dynamite gets an 8 out of 10 from me this week. It was definitely a star-studded card on this week's Dynamite, and for me, the one that really delivered a really strong episode, and finishing off with them capturing the tag titles. Really hyped for the triple threat match as well, a Revolution, and just on the whole, a really good card, and gets an 8 out of 10 from me. Hey guys, that's it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, follow us on our socials, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, meme and content. Subscribe to our other channels on screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace out.